And gentlemen and game designers, we're going to do Getting to Know Unity Part 3. We're going to add some more useful scripts to make it do a little bit more stuff. The first thing we're going to do is going to add a sound effect. All right, so what I want you guys to do is create a sound effect in Audacity, so when the rollerball hits the pickup, it picks it up and makes a sound, or you can get one off the internet. Just make sure you save it as a WAV or an MP3. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and I'm going to hit this. This isn't supposed to be here. So we're going to go into the assets folder, and we're going to go to the project tab, go into the assets, and we're going to create a new folder, and we're going to call it audio. And then you're going to find the file that you just downloaded or created, and we're going to drag that into your brand new audio folder. Okay. And so the next thing we have to do is we need to get it into our scene. So we need to get that sound into the scene. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new game object, and we're going to use an empty game object. So you can't see it, it doesn't really do much, but it just is a way to get stuff into the scene, right? So like either code or sound effects. So we just have this game object, and we're going to call this pickup sound. And then we're going to go into our audio folder, and then we're going to drag our sound effect in there. So now we have our sound in the scene. So now we just need to write some code to access this. So we already have code. So when the rollerball hits a pickup, it does stuff. So we're just going to use that code. So we're going to go into our scripts. We're going to go to the player movement, and we're going to start off with some variables. So let's see here. So I want you to type in this code right here. So we're going to go up to our instance variable declaration area, hit enter. And then there it is, public audio source grab it sound. Okay, so that's just basically a way to create a variable that's going to hold that sound. And then we're going to write some code that actually does it. So right here on trigger enter is where we like, oh, hey, if you collide with a pickup, you're going to do stuff. And so right here is, we're going to write some different code here. Let's find that. Okay, and so here's our if. So we have this if. Hey, if you touch a pickup, then you're going to do all these things. So then right inside of these curly braces, inside of our if statement, you're going to add this code grab it sound.play. So we have our audio source called grab it sound, and then now we're asking grab it sound to play. Now the only problem that's left is this grab it sound is not connected to this this pickup sound. So what we're going to do is we're going to save our changes here, and then we're going to come over here, and we're going to click on our player character, and then inside the inspector, now there's our grab it sound variable. We're going to drag this onto this. Nope, didn't go. This onto, not doing it. There it goes. I'm not sure what I was doing. All right, let's hit play and see what happens. Okay, so we're gonna run it. I missed it. All right, so you can see whenever I hit one, it makes that sound. All right, and just for you guys, here it is again, and there it is again. All right, so now, oh yeah, we already did that too. Okay, so now we're going to add a timer that ends when you get the last pickups. All right, so basically we're going to create a timer, and as long as you haven't picked up, it's going to keep running, adding to the timer 1 second, 2 seconds. And as soon as you get to 8, then it's going to end. Okay, so it's going to look like this. We have to create our timer variables. So let's type in that code. So we're going to go, it's going to be in our player movement script again. So we're going to come up here to the instance variable declaration area. I'm just going to copy and paste them to save time. Okay, so there's the timer variables. And then, so in the on trigger enter, oh no, it's not going to be on trigger enter because we don't want the timer to do stuff only when you touch a pickup. We want it to do it in the fixed update. So this is the game loop that runs over and over again, like the act method in Greenfoot. So it's going to go in fixed update. So we're going to come over here and we're going to do this code. So as long as the count is less than 8, so up here we created the total time, and we have the count, which counts how many pickups you've done. Okay, so as long as you haven't picked up all 8 of the pickups, you're going to add to the timer. So then we have our total time text is going to be updated, and then anyway, so we're going to update that. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is we don't have anywhere to display it. So we don't have our timer text. So we need to actually create this guy called timer text. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here to our scene. Oh wait, I need to save that. So we're going to come over here. We're going to go to our win text. We're going to duplicate it. We're going to go to the move tool. We're going to move it over. We're going to change the name to, get rid of that, timer text. So timer text, and then we're going to come over here to the inspector, and we're going to change the overflow, the wrap to overflow and overflow. If we want to make it bigger, we can, but that's probably fine. And then we're going to click on the color, and we're going to change it to like a nice deep blue, something like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our player. In the inspector, we're going to find the player movement script, and then there's the timer text. And we're going to come up here to the timer text, and we're going to drag it into that slot, and so that this should update every second. Let's see what happens. All right, so you can see that it's going, and then hopefully the idea is that when you get all 8 of these guys, it'll quit, and so then you can oh, I can't do it because this guy, I wonder why that guy won't go. I'm going to have to fix that. Okay, I had hit pause and I figured out a couple things. So the reason this one wasn't being able to be picked up, so if I click on this one, its box collider was off. And then the other problem I was having is this guy has the same script as this guy. So he was touching this guy and he was collecting him, but not this guy. And so it wasn't counting him. So at any rate, so what I have to do is, I'll show you what I have to do. So I turn that back, the box collider back on. And so I just can't let that one cube touch it. So I have to, no, I have to get him out of the way so I can get this guy. I can't let him touch it. Oh, there we go. He's out of the way. At any rate, so now I can get them all. Okay, and then it wins, and then the timer quits going. All right, good. So now we've got to answer some questions here. Okay, so describe a modular component system. What is the difference between a modular component system and inheritance? Do subclasses in Unity also inherit methods from their superclasses? Well, I want to show you something. I'm going to help you answer these questions. Describe a modular component system. A modular component system is a system in Unity where you can have one object like this guy, and you can add as many components as you want to it. And so if I add a box collider, he collides with stuff. If I have a rotator strip, he rotates. If I have a player movement, he moves with the keyboard control. If I have a rigid body, he's controlled by gravity. And so I can write one script and add it to as many things as I want. Okay. Next question is, what is the difference between a modular component system and inheritance? Inheritance is I can't drag and drop different things. If a character inherits something from its superclass, but I can't drag anything from the side to it, like in Greenfoot. Do subclasses in Unity also inherit methods from their superclasses? Well, let's take a look at something. If you look at this, public class player movement is a sub. What this means is a subclass of mono behavior. So yes. All these, like everything that this guy knows, he's inheriting from mono behavior. Other things like if I go to game object, create a 3D cube. Well, if you look at this thing, he has colliders, he has all kinds of stuff, characteristics. So he's inheriting all that stuff being a game object of Unity. So we have two things. We have inheritance and we have the component system in Unity. Okay, so that's the end of this video, and now I'm going to have you jump into the Hello World project in the next video.